Have you ever wondered if a child could unlock secrets from 2,000 years ago? In a quiet little town, nestled in the heart of Minas Gerais, Brazil, called São Bento do Sapucaí, something unimaginable unfolded. A 4-year-old boy named Mateus shocked his family and an entire religious community. His parents, Helena and João, were simple shopkeepers, deeply devout, attending church every Sunday and reading the Bible as a family ritual. But suddenly, Mateus began speaking about Jesus' childhood as if he'd been there himself. How could such a young child know details not even the Gospels reveal? It makes you pause, doesn't it? Let's go back to that crisp autumn morning, with the sun casting golden hues over the rolling mountains. Helena was in the kitchen, brewing fresh coffee and baking cheese bread that melted in your mouth. The scent filled the house, blending with the sweet bloom of garden flowers. Mateus played in the backyard, building tiny houses from dirt and sticks, focused like a master builder. He was unusually calm for his age, his eyes holding a strange wisdom that sometimes sent a chill down Helena's spine. Why did he seem so old in such a young body? She often wondered, brushing it off as imagination. Suddenly, Mateus burst into the kitchen, hands caked in mud. "Mommy, Jesus played like this too when he was little like me," he said with unwavering confidence. Helena smiled, used to his curious questions about faith. "Probably, my love. Jesus was a child just like you." But Mateus shook his head. "I know, Mom. He made birds from clay, and when the other kids broke them, he got sad but didn't yell. He just looked up and asked God to fix it." "Where did that come from?" Helena felt a shiver. "Where did you hear that, Mateus?" The boy shrugged, nibbling on breadcrumbs. "I remember. I was there. Helena sat beside him, hiding her unease. Sunlight streamed through the window, highlighting his innocent face, yet his words felt from another era. "There where, son? In Jesus' house?" Mateus nodded. His mom, Mary, sang while kneading bread. It smelled sweet, like honey mixed with herbs I don't know the name of. "Her bread was softer than yours, Mom." Helena blinked, confused. The Bible she read nightly barely touched Jesus' early years, just fleeting moments, like the temple incident. Clay birds, Mary's songs. This was new, terrifying. "What else do you remember, sweetie?" Mateus closed his eyes briefly, as if delving into a hidden vault. "Jesus cried at night, not from hunger or cold, but because he saw lights in people, some pretty like stars, others dark like bad shadows. He felt so alone no one understood." Helena's heart raced. Was it a dream? A story from church? Pastor Ezekiel never preached such specifics. "Were you Jesus' friend, Mateus?" The boy beamed. "Yes. I died at 6 from a high fever. Jesus cried at my funeral and said we'd meet again in different bodies." The world tilted for Helena. The backyard birds chirped, normally, but the kitchen felt alien. Mateus, oblivious, hummed an ancient tune Helena swore echoed from a forgotten dream. What would you do if your child said that? João came home early that day, sweaty from the shop, arms full of boxes. Practical and grounded in faith, he sensed Helena's pallor immediately. Before she could explain, Mateus hugged his legs. "Daddy, did you know Jesus had a brown dog with a floppy ear, named Simon? He that died under a cart when Jesus was 8. He went silent for 3 days, praying animals wouldn't hurt like people." João glanced at his wife. "Where'd he learn that?" Helena shook her head, eyes misty. "He says he saw it, João, that he was there." The revelations didn't stop. They trickled out like unexpected rain. Monday, as Helena combed his hair, Mateus said, "Mary did this to Jesus, but cried seeing golden light threads in his hair. She knew she couldn't keep him forever. Why? Helena's comb trembled. Because he was special, Mom. Like a falling star. Tuesday dinner, during Joanne's prayer. Jesus hated long prayers. God isn't deaf. Heart words matter more. He'd pray alone under stars. Wednesday by Mr. Antonio's carpentry. Matthias pointed. Joseph taught Jesus tools, but Jesus hated nails, said it was like piercing skin, preferred building with love, no harm. Each tale built a wall of mystery. Helena lost sleep, flipping Bible pages for clues. Nothing. Joanne, torn between doubt and paternal love, pondered, what if it's true? A message from God. They sought Pastor Ezekiel 60 with 40 years in ministry. He'd seen miracles, prophecies, but not this. At his home, with Matthias napping on his lap, he poured coffee and listened. Do you believe him? He asked finally. He speaks with such certainty, Helena whispered. Matthias woke, smiling at the pastor. Hi, Uncle Pastor. Ezekiel probed gently. Matthias cheered. Jesus had a scar on his right hand from tool practice. Joseph blamed himself. I helped clean the blood with lavender-scented claw. Ezekiel chilled. No text is mentioned it. Jesus' town? Nazareth, stone and mud houses. From his window, the whole valley view. Details flowed, vivid. Some boys feared Jesus. He saw their secrets. Once, he healed a hurt bird in his hands but got tired, like giving part of himself. Ezekiel dove into research. Old books, seminary friends, apocryphal experts zip. He tested with apocryphal illustrations. Matthias corrected, wrong, Joseph's hammer wasn't like that. Jesus stayed away from sharp tools. Stunned, Ezekiel thought, what's unfolding here? Oh, it's on the porch under stars, Matthias said. Jesus gazed at stars, calling each a memory of God's love. Then gravely, people fear those who recall the forgotten. Why? Truth can terrify. The family grew restless. Matthias withdrew, listening to memories arrive. Ezekiel summoned Dr. Marcos Santana, spiritual phenomena expert. Marcos arrived from Sao Paulo, gray-haired and kind. Over lunch he watched. Matthias piped, you study God, right? Jesus asked why love hurts. Marcos gaped. Talks unveiled. Jesus had a crescent moon birthmark behind his left ear. Quiet but laughed with friends, hugging like sharing inner light. Word spread in town. Church whispers, square chats. Widow neighbor Dona Aparecida asked about her late husband. Mr. Antonio's fine, no chest pain. Says stop crying, love never ends. How did he know? Healing followed. More sought Matthias. Ezekiel set a vigil. Packed church, storm raging. Matthias at altar. Jesus wants a story told. He wove of child Jesus doubts, loneliness, destiny, acceptance. He felt fear first, understands you. But revelations faded slowly. Matthias normalized playing. Mischief. Community transformed. Faith deeper. Helena and Joanne watched relieved yet nostalgic. Starry nights, they'd ask if he remembered. Some memories shine brighter from afar. He'd smile. Ezekiel couldn't explain, but never doubted. Marcos' book became global reference. Matthias grew ordinary, married, had kids, lived happily. Witnesses never forgot. A child bridged worlds, proving faith's mysteries exceed human grasp. The threat in the anonymous letter loomed like a dark cloud over Helena and Joanne's homes. They read it at the kitchen table, morning sun mocking the chill. Stop spreading lies or the boy suffers. Scrawled in shaky script, no name. Joanne crushed it, knuckles white. Who'd do this? Someone jealous of our peace? Helena hugged Matthias, playing with wooden blocks on the floor, unaware. Don't tell him, it might scare him. But Matthias looked up, sensing tension. Dad, Jesus got threats too. Pharisee letters calling him blasphemer. He'd burn them and pray for the sender. Local police, jolly fat delegate Mr. Giraldo investigated. Reeking of cigarettes and strong coffee, he sat on the porch with Ezekiel, puffing while listening. Could be a crank or extortion. Fame draws crazies. Ezekiel nodded worriedly. Protect them. Mateus is innocent. Giraldo vowed extra patrols, but anxiety lingered. Nights, João added locks. Helena watched the boys' room. Mateus dreamed aloud, murmuring ancient names. James, Simon, don't fear. He'd wake beaming, as if nighttime visitors comforted him. Meanwhile, Dr. Marcos ramped up work, back from São Paulo with gearboxes, laptops for audio analysis, scanners for Mateus's drawings. We'll map his memories, find patterns, he told the family over simple beans and rice lunch. Mateus, chewing slow, cut in. Jesus drew maps in sand, paths to hearts. No machine needed, doctor. Just feel. Marcos chuckled but noted madly. That afternoon session, Mateus dropped a bomb. Jesus saw early betrayal, a friend stealing coins from Joseph's workshop. Forgave quietly, but wept on the roof, stars falling like God's tears. Marcos stopped typing. This changes everything, hence he knew his fate young. Intriguing, right? How does a child bear such burdens? Suspense peaked with an uninvited guest, thin man in dark glasses claiming, freelance journalist from Rio. He stayed at the town's musty old hotel, lurking near the family. Just seeking truth behind the tale, he said with thick accent, notebook ready. João spotted him spying the yard and chased him. This ain't a circus. Undeterred, the man called Marcos, posing as scholar. Heard the boy speaks of betrayals, sign of possession. Marcos hung up furious, telling Ezekiel, he's the letter writer, wants to debunk for glory. They plotted, invite the stranger to church dinner, watch every word. Dinner fell on rainy Thursday, thunder rumbling mountains. Long table in parsonage held bread, Minas cheese, fresh coffee. Mateus beside Marcos, quiet at first, eating slow. Roberto arrived late, drenched, cutting to chase. Mateus, prove it's not made up, something unknown about Jesus. The boy stared, long blue eyes, deep pools. You have a left knee scar from bike fall at 10. Mom cried. You lied about saving a cat. Roberto blanched, fork clattering. How? Mateus serene. Jesus saw through masks. He'd say, stop hunting shadows, seek light. The man fled into rain. Bill unpaid. Giraldo confirmed, fingerprints on threat letter. Arrested next morning. Confessed envy for lacking his own big story. Town breathed easier, but dynamics shifted. Neighbors eyed each other warily in the square. Helena, worn, confided in visiting Sister Clara. I feel something bigger coming. Mateus wakes sweating, talking of a glowing cross. The nun held her hand. Mary felt the same. Trust God's timing. Indeed, memories bloomed in Mateus, like post-rain flowers. Morning helping João stock shelves. He paused. Joseph taught Jesus net mending, though carpenter. Said hands join what's broken. Elderly customer, retired fisherman, overheard and wept. My net tore yesterday, bless me. Mateus touched his hat. Next hour the old man caught record fish in the stream. Marcos filmed it, adding to files. Emotional patterns, forgiveness, unity, not random. He brought psychologist friend from São Paulo, bald, chatty Dr. Oliveira. Oliveira tested with drawings, questions. What does this remind? Mateus saw Nazareth scenes and scribbles. That's the well where Jesus drank cool water, chatting neighbors. Oliveira left awed. Exceptional IQ, empathy off charts, like living multiple lives. Night talks with Ezekiel heated. Reincarnation or prophetic gift? Pastor shook head. God doesn't label, just serve. Fame drew powerful allies. Rome priest, after Marcos's online prelim book, sent blessed letter, Vatican conference invite. Come bring the boy, we want to hear. Family stunned. João nervous laugh. Minas to Vatican, nightmare dream. But Mateus eager. Jesus went to temple at 12. Time to share more. Prep started. Passports, bags, prayers. Ezekiel joined as guardian. At BH airport, reporters swarmed, flashes blinding. Helena gripped Mateus's hand. Stay close, little one. Flight turbulent, dark clouds. Mateus slept through. Dreaming aloud. Boat, rocking on sea. Peace, be still. Woke smiling landing Rome. Air warm with ancient history. Conference in Marble Hall. Red-robed cardinals, global theologians. Mateus on short podium, mic adjusted. Jesus played hide-and-seek in olive groves. Always found friends by heart glow. Hall hushed, then applause thundered. Elderly cardinal, eyes wet. His suffering? Mateus. He embraced pain as friend, leading to light. Like night birthing day. World news exploded. Brazilian boy reveals Christ secrets at Vatican. Papers from New York to Tokyo covered. Back in Brazil, town feverish. More pilgrims, respectful now. Skeptic Dona Lucia converted. Saw on TV, it's from God. Miracles popped. Deaf child heard after Mateus's prayer. Drought farmer got rain post, blessed seeds. But intrigue persisted. In Rome, Mateus night vision. Someone near wants to silence the voice. Home. Uncovered secret group in neighboring church. Jealous. Spreading sabotage rumors. Ezekiel confronted rival pastor. Why? Fear losing followers. Man confessed. His light dims mine. Forgiveness followed. Mateus style. Unity strengthened. Helena, energized by trip, opened prayer nook in shop. João built simple backyard altar. Mateus, growing, taught street kids. Jesus ran barefoot, feeling earth alive. New dynamic, story school with drawings, songs. Marcos posted weekly online chapters, book phenomenon. Ezekiel preached to packed houses, lines outdoor. Full moon night, Mateus called family to roof. Look at stars. Jesus said each holds a promise. As he pointed, comet streaked bright. Sign. Omen. Whole town saw. Whispering miracle. But what would rising light bring? More allies or darker shadows? Journey barely begun. Hearts pounding in eternal mystery rhythm. The comet streaking that full moon night became legend in São Bento do Sapucaí. Next day, Central Square buzzed with folks discussing the show. Divine sign, a farmer shouted, old lady crossing herself repeatedly. Helena woke early, still amazed. Found Mateus' kitchen drawing luminous trail in crayons. Mom. Jesus saw comets as messengers, said they bring changes, winds cleaning air. She kissed his forehead, mix of pride and worry. What change, Sonny? Mateus' mysterious smile. One uniting broken hearts. João entered with local paper. Headline, Comet blesses Prophet Boys Town. Fame climbed, new adventures with it. Few days later, scholar caravan from Brasilia arrived. Federal University sent. Historians, psychologists, even astronomer. All curious Mateus phenomenon. Dr. Marcos received them in church-turned-debate hub. Ancient maps scattered, steaming Minas coffee. Will test scientifically, leader, bearded Professor Almeida announced. Ezekiel frowned. Respect the boy. He's no experiment. Mateus on stool, calm observer. Astronomer asked comet. Jesus gazed sky. Told tales of falling stars, reminding nothing eternal but love. Group scribbled furious. Almeida pressed. Describe eclipse Jesus saw. Mateus, eyes closed. At 7, sun darkened midday. He prayed light return. Mary hugged tight, saying darkness passes. Astronomer checked historic data. matched ancient regional eclipse. Gasps echoed. Impossible, he knows. Family dynamic shifted fast. Helena scheduled visits, becoming manager with packed agenda. Can't let him tire, she griped to João nights. Washing dishes. He, practical, reinforced yard fence. Hiring security. With these scholars, who knows? But Mateus thrived in chaos. New stories daily. Afternoon street playing, gathered circle. Narrated, Jesus invented stone games. Board where moves taught forgiveness. Loser got hug. Kids laughed, mimicking. Soon neighborhood played Jesus's game. Dona Aparecida, watching, teared up. He's healing town's soul. Intrigue arose when confronted rival pastor reappeared with allies. Set tent town outskirts, preaching versus false prophets. Beware, boy, maybe evil trap. Blared old speakers. Tension peaked Saturday night. Group invading square during vigil. Ezekiel on makeshift stage. No division here, only unity. Matthias, parent-led, approached loud. Jesus united rivals at table, breaking bread. Come, sit with us. Rival leader hesitated. Young group member accepted. Crowd gradually mingled. And sang hymns together. Bonfire crackling. Miracle or simple words power. Rival tent dismantled next morning. Pastor privately apologized. Marcos, thrilled, recorded all for book. Now big publisher interested. New chapter. Clashes and reconciliations. He dictated to laptop. Brought discreet film crew. Capturing Mateus every day. Garden helping Helena. Planting Nazareth-like herbs. Mary grew rosemary for headaches. Boy explained. Sniffing leaves. Footage became documentary. São Paulo Film Festival packed. Critics raved. Story questioning reality. Faith. Home. Mateus giggled seeing himself TV. Jesus had no cameras, but saw everything in hearts. Town life coherence changed with dynamic events. Annual fair became Memories Fair. Stalls selling inspired crafts. Bamboo flutes like Jesus. Honey breads from Mary. Tourists danced viola caipira sounds, blending Minas folklore biblical themes. João set shop stall, selling framed Matthias drawings. Helena created Nazareth Peace Herb Tea, hit with stressed visitors. Mateus blessed products smiling. May it heal like Jesus healed. But shadows returned. Letter from abroad. American skeptic group. Inviting lab tests. Come New York. Prove under scientific scrutiny. Ezekiel read distrustful. Could be trapped to discredit. Family table debate. João against. Helena unsure. Mateus calm. Jesus tested in desert. If to help, let's go. Decided. Marcos Ezekiel accompanying. Trip adventure. Crowded plane. New York glittering skyscrapers. Lab. Scientists blinking devices. Hooked Matthias monitors. Tell memory, they asked. He described. Jesus swam cool river. Diving smooth stones. Patient symbols. Graphs spiked. Abnormal brain activity. Deep trance-like. Skeptics silenced. One muttering, this real. Back Brazil. Test went viral online. Graph videos. Town burst pride. Fireworks square. Spontaneous party. But dynamism brought fatigue. Matthias, 5 now, wanted more alone playtime. Memories come slow, calm, river-like. Helena noted, he grew wise yet child, chasing backyard butterflies. Afternoon revealed impactful. Jesus dreamed glowing cross, waking sweaty. New end but chose love. Ezekiel noted, preaching sacrifice-packed mass. New allies emerged. Famous actress, moved by Doc, visited donated local school, inspired Mateus. Empathy classes Jesus taught. Kids learned ancient stories, mixed modern lessons. Intrigue grew Hollywood movie rumors. Producers called, wanting rights. Marcos negotiated, only if true to truth. Family hesitated. Mateus approved. Tell world, Jesus commanded. Windy night, Matthias woke screaming. Fire in temple? Helena rushed, soothing. Next day, news. Neighboring church fire. Saved firefighters alerted collective dream. Coincidence or link? Town prayed more, united. Ezekiel set mountain retreats. Matthias telling, Jesus climbed hills pray, wind God's breath. Attendees returned changed, spreading peace. Marcos' book, launched finally instant bestseller. BH launch, family stage, applause echoing. Matthias signed with drawings, but crowd midst, odd man watched. New threat? João spotted, alerted Geraldo. Probe revealed. Obsessed fan, harmless. Relief came. Vigilance stayed. Journey throbbed, hearts racing. Matthias, vortex center, remained guiding light. What future held? More trips? Deep revelations? Or deserved calm? Stars, promises, blinked answers Minas Gerais. The city São Bento do Sapucaí seemed pulse new energy, as if mountain ground itself gained life. Marcos's book success, Nazareth Memories, brought more gazes Matthias family. International magazine reporters camped square. Photographers captured stone alleys, wooden crosses adorning every corner. Helena João's shop became official tourist spot. Makeshift signs, memory boy's house. But amid light, shadows lingered. Strange man launch crowd, ID'd fan not so harmless. Delegate Geraldo found he sent coded messages family, demanding Matthias reveal heaven's secrets or face divine judgment. João, hot-blooded, wanted confront. Ezekiel held, leave God police. Matthias faced enough. Meanwhile, Matthias grew, now 5.5, face losing baby cheeks, gaze still deep lake guarding secrets. Spent more yard time, stick houses building, bird talking as if hearing replies. Helena noticed, he's quieter, João. Memories ending? Matthias, overhearing, smiled. Don't end, Mom. Just rest, seeds awaiting rain. Calm, scared, comforted same time. Dinner night, dropped spoon. Stared void. Jesus spilled milk bowl once. Mary laughed. Joseph said wasted drop lesson. Jesus learned value little. João eyed Helena. How he make these up? City routine, adapted attention hurricane. Memories fire monthly event. Brazil-wide artisans bringing. Angel sculptures, Mary honey breads. Matthias described flute replicas. New school, actress funded, opened light school. Kids learning forgiveness, empathy values. Boy stories inspired. Dona Aparecida, central figure now. Organized church prayer groups. People sharing miracles. Young alcoholic quit after Matthias said, Jesus loved lost who returned. Single mom found job post-boy prayer. Ezekiel, notebook full notes, preached, God speaks through small. Matthias living proof, but intrigue no truce. American Skeptic Group, New York, tested Matthias, published article questioning. Memories or collective manipulation. Ignited internet debates. Forums split. Believers none. Famous blogger accused family profiting others' faith. Pointing shop proof. Helena hurt. Closed store week. Not money, love. João practical. Reopened. Let come. Show who we. Matthias, aloof controversies, kept telling tales. School afternoon. Drew Nazareth market. Jesus traded figs, bread. Old vendor telling Moses stories. He listened quiet, knew more than old. Teacher moved, sent. Drawing Marcos. Included next book chapter. Dr. Marcos, now academic celeb. World-traveled lecturing. London presented Matthias, theological phenomenon. Videos showing boy describing Nazareth details. Archaeologists confirmed. Water wells, stone walls, even Joseph sandal type. But confessed Ezekiel phone. Sometimes feel don't explain. Just witness? Ezekiel São Bento. Organized mountain spiritual retreats. Matthias small group speaking. Jesus hill climb talk God. Mountain silence hug like. Boy said. After one talk, Italian tourist teared. Lost son 2 years. Matthias said he's Jesus, laughing flower field. She returned country changed, spreading story. Tension obsessed fawn. Exploded stormy night. Geraldo arrested him post-house invasion attempt. Notebook full feverish, final prophecies notes. Matthias learning just said, Jesus forgave persecutors, he needs peace. Man institutionalized. Family breathed relieved. Episode left marks. Helena dreamed Mary almost nightly. Waking feeling Jesus' mother guided. Care boy, he's borrowed light. João, once skeptic, prayed fervently now. Building small yard oratory cross. Matthias drew, like one Jesus dreamed, sun shining. City dynamic forever changed Vatican emissary arrival. Father Lorenzo, Italian gentle eyes came mission. Official Catholic Church investigate case. Stayed parsonage, spent days family, silently observing Matthias. Lunch asked, Matthias, what Jesus say world today? Boy chewed bread piece, thought. Answered, he'd say, stop fighting names, love hands. Lorenzo noted, impressed. Week after sent Rome report. No deceit. Boy speaks divine truth. Church didn't canonize Matthias, but blessed mission, sending relic, wood fragment tradition from Joseph workshop. Matthias touched wood, smiled. Smells sawdust lavender, like their house. Time, Matthias memories rarefied. Stars cloud-covered. Now spoke more current life. Laughing school friends, street ball playing. Helena João, relieved, saw son return child. Knew something eternal remained. Clear sky night. Matthias called parents' roof. Look, stars still tell stories. Pointed constellation. Jesus said, each light God peace. Waiting scene. That week, town organized last big vigil. Candles lit circle square. Matthias Center spoke last as memory's voice. Jesus child like me, had fears, dreams, laughs. Wanted us know, we're all same love children. Gradually Matthias grew any boy. Crowds dwindled, reporters left. São Bento do Sapucaí returned quiet town, but different glow. Light school formed generations, teaching compassion. Marcos books sold millions, 10 language translated, inspiring world churches temples. Ezekiel, aged now, wrote booklet Matthias lessons, children's gospel. Dona Aparecida became official storyteller, narrating fairs teary eyes. Helena João opened bakery, Maori honey bread flagship, sustaining family simply. Matthias 10 common boy, video game playing, peer fighting, homework lazy. But sometimes clear nights, sat yard, sky gazing, as if hearing distant echoes. 20 became light school teacher, teaching history empathy. Married, 2 kids, lived simple meaningful life. Who knew him saw eyes something, ancient spark, as if Nazareth still lived there. Town never forgot. Small museum, church side, guarded Matthias drawings, Joseph cross, bamboo flutes. Pilgrims still came, silent now, seeking peace. Matthias stories turned legends, grandparents' porch told, mixed coffee hot bread scent. And under Mina's stars, all new, child one instant, brought heaven earth, reminding God's love speaks simple voices, open hearts, never dying memories. The comet that streaked across the sky that moonlit night became a legend in São Bento do Sapucaí. By morning, the central square buzzed with voices, farmers shouting. It was a divine omen, old women crossing themselves, whispering prayers. Helena woke early, heart still racing from the sight, and found Matthias in the kitchen, sketching the comet's fiery tail with crayons. Mom, Jesus saw comets as God's messengers, he said softly, eyes bright. They bring change, like winds sweeping away dust. Helena kissed his forehead, a mix of awe and unease stirring inside. What kind of change, my love? Matthias's smile held secrets, the kind that mends broken souls. João burst in, waving the local paper, its headline screaming, "Comet blesses Prophet Boys Town." Fame was spiraling, and with it, a storm of new mysteries. What could shift a town so small into the world's gaze? Days later, a caravan of scholars rolled in from Brasilia, sent by a top university. Historians, psychologists, even an astronomer, all hungry to unravel the Mateus phenomenon. Dr. Marcos greeted them in the church, now a makeshift research hub, with ancient maps strewn across tables and the aroma of fresh Minas coffee thick in the air. "We'll test him scientifically," declared the group's leader, a bearded professor named Dr. Almeida. Pastor Ezekiel's eyes narrowed. "He's a child, not a lab rat." Mateus sat quietly on a wooden stool, watching with calm curiosity. When the astronomer asked about the comet, the boy's voice was steady. Jesus stared at the sky, telling stories of falling stars to remind us nothing lasts forever, except love. The scholars scribbled frantically, but Almeida pushed harder. "Describe an eclipse Jesus saw." Mateus closed his eyes. At 7, the sun went dark at noon. He prayed for light to return, and Mary held him tight, whispering that shadows always fade. The astronomer cross-checked historical records. An eclipse matched the region and time. Gasps filled the room. "How could he know?" one whispered. Could a child hold history in his mind? The family's life spun faster. Helena became a reluctant manager, scheduling visitor slots to shield Mateus from exhaustion. "We can't let him burn out," she told João, scrubbing dishes late at night. João, ever practical, fortified the backyard fence. "I'm hiring security. These strangers are too many." Yet Mateus thrived in the chaos, his stories blooming like wildflowers. One afternoon, playing with street kids, he gathered them in a circle. Jesus made games with stones, a board where every move taught forgiveness. Losers got hugs. The children giggled, copying the game, and soon the whole neighborhood played Jesus' game. Dona Aparecida, the widowed neighbor, watched with tears in her eyes. "He's healing this town's heart," she said. Could a boy's words mend a community? Trouble brewed when the rival pastor, once confronted by Ezekiel, returned with a vengeance. He set up a tent on the town's edge, his megaphone blasting warnings of false prophets and demonic tricks. Tensions boiled over one stormy Saturday night when his followers stormed the square during a vigil. Ezekiel climbed a makeshift stage, voice firm. "No division here, only unity." Mateus, brought by his parents, stepped forward, small but fearless. Jesus sat rivals at one table, breaking bread. "Come, eat with us." The rival pastor froze, but a young follower stepped forward, and slowly the crowd blended. By midnight, they sang hymns around a crackling bonfire. Was it a miracle or the power of a child's simple call? The rival tent vanished by dawn, the pastor slipping away with a whispered apology to Ezekiel. Dr. Marcos, energized, recorded every moment for his book, now catching a major publisher's eye. New chapter, conflict and reconciliation, he typed feverishly. He brought a discreet film crew, capturing Mateus in daily life, helping Helena plant herbs in the garden, mirroring Nazareth's scents. Mary grew rosemary for headaches, Mateus said, inhaling deeply. The footage became a documentary, packing São Paulo Film Festival theaters. Critics raved, a tale that challenges faith and reality. Back home, Mateus laughed at himself on TV. Jesus had no cameras, but he saw everything in people's hearts. Could a child's vision pierce the modern world? The town's rhythm shifted with vibrant events. The annual fair morphed into the Memories Fair, with artisans from across Brazil selling angel carvings, Mary's honey breads, and bamboo flutes, inspired by Mateus's tales. Tourists swayed to viola caipira tunes, blending Minas folklore with biblical echoes. João set up a shop stall for Mateus's framed drawings, while Helena crafted a Nazareth Peace herbal tea, a hit with frazzled visitors. Mateus blessed each item with a smile. May it heal like Jesus healed. The square pulsed with life, but whispers of doubt lingered. Why did some resist the boy's light? Dark clouds gathered with a letter from a skeptical American group inviting Mateus to a New York lab for scientific scrutiny. Ezekiel read it, suspicious, a trap to debunk him. The family debated, João against, Helena torn, Mateus serene. Jesus faced tests in the desert. If it helps, I'll go. With Marcos and Ezekiel, they boarded a packed flight, New York's skyscrapers dazzling. In a sterile lab, scientists hooked Mateus to blinking monitors. Tell us a memory, they demanded. He spoke. Jesus swam in a cool river, diving for smooth stones, symbols of patience. Graphs spiked wildly. Brain activity like deep trance. A skeptic muttered, stunned, "This is real." Did science just bow to faith? Back in Brazil, the test footage went viral, graphs fueling online frenzy. São Bento erupted in pride. Fireworks lit the square. A spontaneous festival bloomed. But fame weighed heavy. Mateus, now 5, craved quiet playtime. Memories come slow, like a calm river, he told Helena, chasing butterflies in the yard. One afternoon, he shared a chilling vision. Jesus dreamed of a glowing cross, waking soaked in sweat. He knew his end but chose love. Ezekiel scribbled it down, preaching about sacrifice to a packed church. Could a child grasp such heavy truths? New allies emerged. A famous actress, moved by the documentary, visited and funded a local school, Light School, teaching empathy inspired by Jesus' lessons. Kids soaked up Mateus's stories, blending them with modern values. Hollywood rumors swirled. Producers called, craving film rights. Marcos negotiated, only if it's true to the story. Mateus nodded, tell the world like Jesus said. But nausea lurked. A stormy night, Mateus woke screaming, fire in the temple. Helena soothed him. Next morning, news broke. A nearby church burned, saved by firefighters, tipped off by a shared town dream. Coincidence or divine link? The town prayed harder, united. Marcos's book launched, an instant global hit. At the Belo Horizonte event, the family stood on stage, applause deafening. Mateus signed copies with doodles. But a shadowy figure in the crowd caught João's eye. Another threat? Geraldo investigated, finding a harmless, obsessed fan. Relief came, but vigilance stayed. What hid in the growing light? The shadow of that mysterious figure at the book launch lingered like a cold fog over São Bento do Sapucaí. Helena and João pored over the incident at their kitchen table, the morning sun doing little to warm their unease. The anonymous fan, though deemed harmless by Delegate Geraldo, had left behind a cryptic note slipped under the shop door. The boy's light draws darkness. Stop or face judgment. João's fists clenched, crumpling the paper. Who keeps targeting us? Someone in town? Helena cradled Mateus, who was stacking wooden blocks on the floor, oblivious to the tension. We can't tell him. It'll frighten him. But Mateus glanced up, as if sensing the air's weight. Dad. Jesus faced shadows too. Men in cloaks whispered against him, but he prayed for their hearts. How does a child stay so calm in a storm? Geraldo, the burly delegate, with a cigarette-stubbed voice, launched a quiet investigation. Sitting on the family's porch with Ezekiel, he puffed smoke and mused, could be a jealous local or an outsider chasing clout. Fame like this stirs up trouble. Ezekiel nodded, worry etching his face. Keep them safe, Geraldo. Mateus is just a boy. Extra patrols circled the house, but the note's words gnawed at Helena. She barely slept, checking Mateus's room hourly. Yet the boy dreamed vividly, murmuring ancient names in his sleep. Judah, Levi, be not afraid. He woke with a serene smile, as if unseen guardians visited him. Could dreams shield him from real threats? Dr. Marcos, undeterred, pushed his research deeper. He returned from Sao Paulo with more gear: audio recorders, brainwave monitors, and a stack of historical texts. We'll trace the source of his memories, he told the family over a humble lunch of rice and beans. Mateus, nibbling slowly, cut in. Jesus etched stories in the sand, paths to forgiveness, no tools needed, just a heart. Marcos grinned but scribbled fiercely. In a session later, Mateus dropped a revelation that froze the room. Jesus saw a friend betray early, hiding coins from Giuseppe's workshop. He forgave in silence, but wept under the stars, feeling their fall like God's sorrow. Marcos's pen stopped. This suggests he sensed his fate as a child. How could such heavy truths fit in a boy's mind? Intrigue exploded with the arrival of a new stranger, a wiry man in dark sunglasses, calling himself a freelance journalist from Rio. He checked into the town's creaky hotel, its air thick with mildew, and began tailing the family. "I'm after the real story," he said, notebook always in hand. João caught him peering over the backyard fence and roared, "This isn't a show." The man, unfazed, phoned Marcos, posing as a scholar. Betrayals in the boy's tales. Could it be demonic? Marcos slammed the phone down, warning Ezekiel. "He's tied to the note, I bet. Wants to tear this apart for fame." They schemed to invite him to a church dinner, eyes sharp on every move. Who was this man, really? The dinner unfolded on a rainy Thursday, thunder rattling the mountains. The parsonage's long table brimmed with fresh bread, Minas cheese, and steaming coffee. Mateus sat beside Marcos, quiet at first, picking at his food. The journalist, Roberto, arrived soaked, diving straight in. "Mateus, give me something undeniable about Jesus. Prove it's not a trick." The boy's blue eyes locked on him, piercing like a blade. "You've got a scar on your left knee from a bike crash at 10. Your mom wept, but you lied, saying you saved a cat." Roberto's fork clattered, face ashen. "How?" Mateus, calm as ever. "Jesus Sousa through lies. He'd tell you to stop chasing shadows and find light." Roberto bolted into the storm, leaving his bill. Geraldo's men nabbed him by morning. His fingerprints matched the note. He confessed, envy drove him to discredit the boy for his own spotlight. Was this the end of the threats? The town sighed in relief, but suspicion lingered. Neighbors glanced sideways in the square, trust fraying. Helena, drained, confided in Sister Clara, the nun who still visited. "I sensed something bigger looming." Mateus wakes sweating, muttering about a shining cross. Clara clasped her hand. Mary felt that dread too. Trust God's plan. Mateus's memories surged like a river after rain. One morning, stocking shelves with João, he paused. Joseph taught Jesus to mend fishing nets, though he was a carpenter. Said hands heal what's torn. An old fisherman customer, tears streaming, said, "My net broke yesterday. Bless me?" Mateus touched his cap, and hours later, the man hauled a record catch from the creek. Was it faith or something more? Marcos captured it on video, adding to his growing archive. Patterns of healing unity. Not random, he noted. He brought a Sao Paulo psychologist, Dr. Oliveira, a chatty bald man, to test Mateus. Showing abstract drawings, Oliveira asked, What do you see? Mateus saw Nazareth. That's the well where Jesus sipped cool water, talking with neighbors. Oliveira left stunned. His IQ's high, but his empathy too, it's like he's lived lifetimes. Nightly debates with Ezekiel grew intense. Reincarnation or divine gift? The pastor shook his head. God doesn't box miracles. We just follow. Could faith and science ever agree? Fame brought powerful friends. A Rome priest, after reading Marcos's early book drafts online, sent a blessed letter and a Vatican conference invite. Bring the boy. We must hear him. The family reeled. João chuckled nervously. From Minas to the Vatican. Sounds like a fever dream. Mateus, eager. Jesus has faced the temple at Ui, 12. It's time. They prepped. Passports, bags, prayers, Ezekiel joining as protector. At Belo Horizonte Airport, reporters swarmed, cameras flashing. Helena gripped Mateus's hand. Stay close, sweetheart. The flight was rough, clouds churning. But Mateus slept, murmuring dreams. Boat rocking on waves. Peace, be still. He woke smiling as they landed in Rome, the air heavy with ancient whispers. The conference hall gleamed with marble, filled with red-robed cardinals and global theologians. Mateus, on a small podium with a lowered mic, spoke clear. Jesus played hide-and-seek in olive groves, finding friends by their heart's glow. Silence, then thunderous applause. An old cardinal, eyes misty, asked, "What of his pain?" Mateus. He held suffering like a friend, knowing it led to light, like night birthday. Did his words echo Jesus himself? News erupted globally. Brazilian boy unveils Christ's secrets at Vatican. From New York to Tokyo, headlines blazed. Back home, São Bento buzzed. Pilgrims arrived, reverent now. Even skeptic Dona Lucia converted. I saw it on TV. It's God's work. Miracles multiplied. A deaf child heard after Mateus' prayer. A farmer's dry fields bloomed post-blessed seeds. But shadows crept. In Rome, Mateus woke from a vision. Someone close wants to hush the truth. Back home, they uncovered a jealous clique in a nearby church, spreading sabotage. Ezekiel confronted their leader. Why? Scared of losing your flock? The pastor confessed, his light overshadows mine. Forgiveness followed Mateus' style, knitting the community tighter. Could unity outlast envy? Helena, renewed by the trip, opened a prayer corner in the shop. João built a simple backyard altar. Mateus, growing fast, taught street kids. Jesus ran barefoot, feeling the earth breathe. A storytelling school bloomed, filled with drawings and songs. Marcos's online chapters went viral, his book a global phenomenon. Ezekiel preached to overflowing pews, lines snaking out the church door. What power did this small boy wield?